Right.
Welcome to Market Tea Tuesday,
where the tea is always hot.
Happy
Y'all,
Tuesday.
It is hot this week because, the news will have us believe in a lot of things. I think it's the most important thing. And just to go historically before we get into the Fed, last year in September, everybody was dying, waiting for the Fed to lower interest rates. So they didn't do anything because they were just dying. And then guess what? October, where did rates go?
Through the roof. Yeah.
I got to sit this down because I'm too excited about this one. And so I keep moving my computer, guys. But I think it's important to note that if you like it, lock it always. Today, retail sales numbers came out and they were higher than expected. And so, yes, is the Fed going to lower rates tomorrow? Yes, but I think it's going to cause market stability because people got a little nervous today. The market got nervous. And they came out and they said, and it caused rates to get worse because retail sales were higher. So,
yeah, it's such a domino effect. It's the one thing can affect, the next, and we can't just hyper focus on one report. We have to make sure that everything aligns in our favor.
100% important. And so I think just looking at the big picture is a bigger thing. The Fed is widely expected to cut rates on Wednesday, okay? Which is good news, but it doesn't directly affect our mortgage rates. So that's just a big reminder. So what is something that you hear your clients saying right now, Carolina, or feeling like in the market or hear people saying?
I do have a lot of clients, just buyers wanting to hold off because they're like, oh, well, we see that rates are going to be cut 3 times this year. And I have to go into the whole spiel of like, well, the federal funding rate is going to be cut, not necessarily the mortgage rates. And that those cuts have already been factored in. Well, not all of them, but at least the one that we're expecting tomorrow has already been factored into the pricing. So today's pricing already has that. So I just have to kind of educate them and take that time. And then with past clients that are looking to refinance, what's the return on investment, right? Because not every refinance really makes sense. If you're looking to move out and, or purchase something else in the next 2 years, maybe refinancing right now does not make sense because the cost to refinance is not cheap and we're at the end of the year. So taxes are, we have to go based off of trim notices, things like that. So just educating as much as possible when it comes to those things.
And another thing too is it's all psychology, right? Like that's what the news is. It's psychology that brings it, like fixtures your brain. And so because this is all going out, applications for mortgages to purchase homes rose at the highest year-over-year growth rate in more than 4 years. That puts us back in COVID time. So that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. And then home prices grew just 3.5% between January and August, which that's something to like not be excited about because I think average growth when we're not in COVID is 3% anyway. So it's not a horrible deal.
Yes. And then also, Florida is one of the states that stands out as far as the sales, all the active bookings and all the things. So I think we're in a good spot here in Florida, right? Because there's inventory, there's buyers. So the market's definitely moving here in Florida. So
yeah, and the thing is if we move out of a buyer's market, it's going to be harder to get the sellers to accept things with down payment assistance. It's going to be harder to get them to accept things with lower escrow deposits. It's going to be harder to get them to accept at list price, let alone below list price. Realistic expectations go back in. And of course, we know we're always going to swing there, but I was just hoping we'd stay quite a bit longer. So lower rates are a double-edged sword, which I think is really important to point out as well.
yes.
So I think that is important in there. And builders are still a little bit worried, and labor market weakened, but inflation went up. So imagine the position that the Fed's in. Do I think it's 100%? They should have already lowered a quarter. So this quarter is necessary. But what he says afterwards and how quickly he feels that he's going to lower or not lower is going to really be what impacts rates. So you could be waiting till Wednesday, and then if he says something, it could cause rates to go right back to where they were.
Yeah. I think we're in a good spot right now. So like you said, if you like it, lock it.
Yeah, I think it's
There's
important.
no say how long we're going to be in this sweet spot.
Yeah. And honestly, if you need a one-on-one talk about this, we're available for you. Realtors, if you'd like us to come in your office and educate on this a bit more too, please, we would love to. Please don't share rates on the internet. If you are not a licensed loan originator, please do not, because you don't know if somebody has a 580 score or 740. So you could be bringing somebody in and it could cause devastation because they cannot get that rate. So please, like, I'm not going to tell them the value of their house. Please let me talk to them about rate and payment. Let's really refocus on payment rather than rate, because as rates change one way or another, we still want to focus on that affordability more than anything. So please let us talk to your buyers about that rather than sharing the rates out there in public. So
yes, because the rate is determined by multiple factors and credit is definitely one of them, right? So
payment, what product you're using, all the things. Type of house, a condo, a manufactured home, a single family, like what can you afford? These things make a really, really large impact. And I'm passionate about this because using a broker is best. The HMDA data said that we save on average $8,940 or something like that. We'll post the actual numbers for the average consumer over the life of the loan. And for a veteran, we save them over $13,000 by using a broker. So any of your veterans out there, they should be using a broker. We work for you, not the bank. And this is an important factor. If you want to save your buyers money, stop referring them to retail lenders and start referring them to brokers. That is where you save the money.
Yes, absolutely. And we like saving money. I feel like that's our goal every file, right? It's like, how can we save the money? But yes, please let us have those conversations.
Yeah.
Always.
And it keeps you out. And you don't know what information you've seen out there. You think just because somebody, it's so hard. Like I've seen a few times people text me other LOs, and all LOs are not made the same. That's just like all realtors are not made the same. All title companies are not made the same. It's about education, knowledge, things like that. And we've seen people post rates at 5%. Well, that's not true.
That's not true.
With a 5 in front, you got that.
Yeah.
But 5%.
You know what I've seen too lately? You know what I've seen too, where and I'm like, okay, I don't know why they're doing this, but if they do a 2-1 buy down, which we have our own views on that, but let's say they lock at a 7, right? They'll go and announce like, oh, we got our client a 5% interest rate. And then you read the caption, it's like with a 2-1 buy down. I'm like, okay.
And we both have had situations where the buyers call like because they insisted on doing that type of loan at that time. Yeah. And now they can't afford their house. And we're not in the business of just getting people in houses. We're in the business of keeping people in houses.
Exactly.
These are lifelong relationships. We are not a call center.
Yeah, so. No.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll be interesting
to join us on here, people. We need a guest.
We got a thumbs up today, so that's
slide in my DMs so that we can get you as a guest. Okay, we'll add a little bubble in here. Will be great.
Yeah, that'll be awesome if we can have some special guests hop on here with us.
Well, great news is that we also, like we said before, Trigger Leads is passed. I'll actually be going to DC tomorrow to celebrate that. That's a huge win for the industry, and I'll share more details next week.
I can't wait to hear all about it.
All right. Market TV Tuesday next week.
Yes. See
you
next week. Bye.
Bye.